Well, would you look at that? I was just about to wrap filming, and then I realized I forgot to talk to you guys about the Refuel app in the greatest buy, sell, and trade running shoe marketplace in the world. People are saying we got the best heat in the game. It's not a joke. We got $130 New Balance Baloses. Is it Baloses or... I'm not going to do the thing. Is it singular or is it plural? We got a lot of great shoes. People are selling Brooks Ghost Max 2 unused for $90, Balos with 4 miles for $130. We got Saucony Endorphin Elite left and right for $150 and under. Awesome inventory. If you are looking for a new shoe, check it out. A lot of people are unloading because they've stocked up, they've stockpiled cool shoes and are looking to sell them. So check out the Refuel marketplace. The other thing that I wanted to mention about the Refuel app, and I was saying this to Charlie last night, it makes me so happy to see people. We have a Run Reports channel posting their successes, posting great training runs, posting the breakthroughs they've made in training, posting I hit a new mileage PR. It's a place for us to come together as hobby joggers and support each other and get excited about the training. It's not just about the shoes, it's about the training, it's about the community, it's about a shared experience, building our knowledge base together. If that's what you're looking for, you're gonna love it. Refuel app, it is $1 a month. I started it as a place for hobby joggers to convene. And we're building the most positive corner on the internet. That's my goal with the Refuel app, guys. So if you're not on it yet, please sign up. It's also another way to support the channel. And the other last thing I should say, we have a Running Warehouse discount code for 10% off of 10% off of nutrition, 20% off of apparel. You can get Gonya swag. You guys know Gonya? Patagonia? You can get Gonya for 20% off. Whatever other brands, 20% off of all apparel. And Running Warehouse said they might take away the code because it was so dang good they might be losing money. So sign up for the app. Let's run it up. Let's run it into the ground in 2024 so that if they do take it away, at least we benefited from it. If you need to buy new stuff, don't just go and use it if you don't need to buy new stuff. This is what I always think about. I don't want to just be pumping up the consumer economy and the capitalism, but I'm also trying to get a piece of the pie and pursue the American dream. It's a hard tension. Refuel app, $1 a month. I swear, Bezo. We got to go to Detroit this morning. We're going to Carbon County and we're going to Detroit. Whenever I need to really get in the zone, Detroit. That's what happens when you take a region and drain it of its economic strength. You get some great art that comes. Shout out to Detroit and Detroit artists. This morning, though, we are headed to Carbon County. We're going to be getting a long tempo here. Make sure we got the right lighting. In the Saucony Endorphin Elite. I am about 4 to 5 weeks away from the Chicago Marathon right now, and we're going to get another big mileage day today. I got 20 on Monday, 25 on Tuesday. Yesterday was a recovery day. I got 14 miles, so 10 in the morning, solo dolo. 4 in the afternoon with the whole squad putting in work. We did a family run. I had the double stroller. Charlie was getting it in, just jogging with me, and Mace was on her bike. So today we're going to do another 20-something mile day. I had to drop Mason off at school this morning, so I'm getting a little bit of a late start here, but the goal is accumulate more mileage, get some good miles at race pace this morning, test the Endorphin Elite, see if this is potentially going to go into the race shoe contention. Right now, it's Alpha Fly 3 and Cloud Boom Strike. Probably my top 2 shoes. Thinking about shoes that I'm going to race in. I think, was there one more that I was considering? Maybe Cielo X1, but I think those 2 are a little bit faster. So this is the third one that it feels good for me at race pace, but not too comfortable at other paces, which is okay because during races we will be at race pace. I just don't want to make the same mistake I made last time, which was I picked the A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris because it felt fast and aggressive, and then it turned out it was too fast and too aggressive for what I wanted. So nice long tempo this morning. Goal is to get 16 miles. So I've been doing these middle of the week longer runs, anywhere between 15 to 17 miles. So 16 miles at a faster pace. I would love to get that all close to race effort, but my legs are feeling pretty smashed, honestly. That Tuesday workout really took it out of me. That was a 6 by 1 kilometer repeat workout. I was in the Alpha Fly 1. I did those in about 315 to 320 kilometers. So that's about a 515 to 520 per mile pace. And then I finished with 4 by 400 meter repeats at a 450 pace. One of them was at a 5-minute pace, which just gets me going. I missed one of them, but that's a good strength building workout. My legs are a little bit beat up, and this is what I said in that video. I like to focus on one thing at a time in my training. The last 18 months have been focused on endurance, mileage building. I can now go out and run 27-mile long run any weekend, and that feels fine. But the speed, the top end speed, anything faster than 550 per mile is a bit difficult. So we're not gonna be going down past 550 per mile this morning. This is a specific endurance workout. So working on race effort, and this should be run between 555 per mile and 620 per mile. Anything slower than that means I'm just too tired. But these are the workouts where we can build mental strength and we can build some great adaptations. I think going into the race, right, we are gonna be tired, not starting, but mile 10, mile 12, mile 14, mile 16, mile 20. So coming into a longer tempo like this on tired legs, not in perfect conditions. My boss just asked me to change some slide in a deck after she had the CEO approve it yesterday. It's like, what the heck is going on here? So these are all the types of things where maybe if we're having some mental fatigue, some physical fatigue, the conditions aren't perfect. I love these mornings because this is where we can really get stronger and get better. So I don't have that much time for yammering on. We can do that throughout the day. We are gonna lace up the Endorphin Elite and get some miles in. Hold on, one last thing I wanted to say about, nah. Lacing up the Endorphin Elite, and what I was gonna say down on the street is my experience so far in these shoes. I've had 2 runs. I did a first run, 10 miler at about a 6:15 pace, maybe 6:10 pace in it. This was all the way back in maybe May, and it felt good, but just really aggressive. I'm wondering if it needs some break-in. I also wasn't in as good of fitness shape as I am right now. That was rough English right there. And then the second run was a 21 or 20. I think it was a 21-mile long run with 4 rounds of 2 miles at about a 6:10 pace, or a marathon effort. Oh, bless me. So this will be my 3rd run in this shoe, and we'll be up past 40 miles now after we finish this run. So definitely enough mileage to get the true character. But the upper is fine. It's lightweight. The most notable thing about the fit, it definitely fits true to size. Most notable thing about the fit is it really puts your toes up. It's an aggressive toe spring and rocker. So 16 miles, letting it fly. Let's do it. I'm gonna take the first few miles as a little bit of an extended warm-up, trying to work down to 6:10, and then we'll just see how long we can hold that. But man, the shoe has some great pop. It's not the softest and most forgiving, but when getting the legs going, it really locks it.
First mile was a 6:20, right on target. We'll just keep working it down. I'm also gonna take this gel. I brought one gel with me. I'm gonna rip the cord on it early. My fueling yesterday was one level above trash. Same with this morning. I have race day nerves right now. Whew. Just trust the training. Trust everything we've done. Wait for the flow. Just wait for the flow to come. All right, we got this. I went 5:56 on the last mile, so just gotta find the flow and ride the wave. All right, that was mile 6. We're rolling at 550s right now. We got the biggest hill of the day coming up, but we've got this. You just gotta ride out the nerves and wait until that rhythm hits. We're in it now. 10 more miles. Think of this as mile 16, home stretch. We got it. All right, let's see. 16 miles, 5:57 pace. 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 19 seconds. Really out here grinding. That was a good one, man. These are the runs that just put a smile on my face. Because I can think about all the terrible runs. I could think about the Charlotte Marathon 2022 when my left knee felt like it was going to explode at mile 16, but we slugged it out until the end and we still finished because I told myself I would never stop in a race again. After I stopped in a race earlier in that training block and Mason asked me why I didn't finish, because I got lost, made a wrong turn and DNF'd. These are the runs that just put a smile on my face. All the hard work, the 4:30 a.m. wake-ups, grinding it out here in the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 2, barely hitting 630s up the hill, quads on fire. Just puts a smile on my face. Because this is where the dedication, the discipline, and the drive pay off on runs like this. Man, in the words of Larry June, I said this the other day, if you really got a goal, you got to stick to it. You got to stick to it. This is what it means to train by feel. It's not about putting our fingers in the air, seeing which way the wind is blowing and having that determine how many miles we run. It's feeling like we want to turn ourselves into a complete savage. So coming out here and adding an extra tempo run inside of the Jack Daniels plan. That's what it means to train by feel. These are the runs that put a smile on my face. (16 out of 5:57 pace. Let's go. Man, when you see those magenta John G's, you know some pace is coming. When those magenta John G's come out to play, little 5 inchers. Woo! Kill him. Woo! Oh man, look at that upper thigh. That is pale. I had to pop out on him in the 5 inchers. Let him know. Hot pink. For tempos, we wear pink. Bro, there's a lot of Regina Georges out there. Don't come around here with that you can't sit with us energy. Sup well, baby, anyone can sit with us. That's the slug life mentality. You don't have a table, come sit with Supwell. Get in with us. Come grind. That's the only requirement to sit with the slugs. Put on a pair of hot pink shorts and get to work. You can sit with us. That's what it's all about, man. hobby jogger. We just out here chopping wood, chopping slug life. On Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill said, I used to pray for times like this. I used to pray for times like this. Had to grind like that to shine like this. And guess what? We're in the grind like that part. But the thing is, man, pray for times like this. We just got to appreciate to be able to come out here and even attempt a 16-mile tempo at marathon pace is incredible. It's a blessing for sure to be in good health, to be able to come out here and grind. And man, there's been so many times. I keep thinking back to my first marathon build where all I wanted was just to feel healthy, was to run pain-free. And we can get so caught up in the time, the numbers, the seconds like I was on Tuesday, stressing about missing a few reps or missing one rep by 4 seconds. And we should get on ourselves and demand a standard of excellence. But at the same time, we should feel great when we can come and flex our fitness, flex our strength and health. It's not all about PRs and running fast times. Just to be able to come out here and run hard for 90 minutes, regardless of whatever pace, that's a beautiful thing. And there were times where that was all I wanted. And that's what I really want to hammer home and remember for the next month. And if there's anybody out there who has that fall marathon coming up, yes, we should put the pressure on ourselves appropriately to hit our time goal or to hit whatever goal it is, to finish, to run the race without walking, to run 13 miles at a certain, whatever your goal is. We should put ourselves in a position to hit that goal. But at the same time, and it's the balance, right? I talked about this the other week. On one side of the coin is greatness. We all want to be great. We want to hold ourselves to that standard of greatness, whether it's running a sub 3 or running 20 miles without stopping or getting to the start line injury-free. But at the same time, I want to be grateful that I'm even in this position, that I've had the time over the past few months to train like this. During my last training block, I didn't. I was running with the stroller probably 3-4 times a week, so I wasn't able to hit speed workouts. I was always tired. This time around, Charlie has let me go out here and do my thing in the afternoons to get a lot of aerobic mileage in with lower resistance on the legs. She's been so supportive. I'm so appreciative of this season, too. I work from home. I don't have to commute. This morning, I did have to drop Mason off to school, but I was still able to come out here and get this workout in. So, man, we can hold ourselves to these standards and go after the number goals, but I want to be grateful that I was even able to think coming out here and attempting this was possible. And then we absolutely crushed it because we've been preparing. And I told you guys in the Cloud Boom Strike 24 miler, that was what really kicked off this training block. Who you calling small? I told you guys, preparation. I wrote it down in the notebook. Preparation. I'm going to out-execute my preparation flaw. I'm not good at preparation. Let me tell you right now, if I don't run a good race in Chicago, it's not for a lack of preparation. It's going to be because I didn't execute on that day or something went wrong on that day. Because the preparation this time has been on 10. And sometimes I think it's hard for me to talk about this because I don't want to sound like I'm bragging. I don't know if it's bragging to say I've prepared well, but the only way we can get better is by being self-aware, and that means celebrating our strengths, honing in our strengths, and also working on our weaknesses. And I knew my weakness was not being consistent with the speed, not always following the training plan, not doing things a certain way. So this time I said my preparation is going to be 10 out of 10, and it has been. All we got to do is execute the last few weeks, and we're going to be in a great place. So 16-mile tempo in the Endorphin Elite. That was a great run. I have meetings now. I'm going to shower. We can hit the refuel in and then get in our second run. Whew.
I'm gonna talk through all the shoes at the end of the day. Is the coach gonna be at the field today?
Coach says.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay, I should do that.
I was gonna do it.
Okay.
But yeah, it just needs to. It's not an extremely important thing, but it's what needs to be done.
When I bought the Rolls Royce, they thought it was leased. Then I bought the new Ferrari. Haters, rest in peace. That's what Meek Mill said on Dreams and Nightmares. But this is the lunch today. Charlie just came through, dropped it off. We got magazines everywhere. What is this? GQ? Guys, don't sleep on GQ. GQ has some of the best writing out there. And you wouldn't think it because it's a gentleman's fashion magazine, but the writing in here is, a lot of the stories are on par with what I used to read in the New Yorker. It's really great journalism. So shout out to GQ. Then we got the Mountain Gazette. But this is our lunch, little vegan quesadilla. Keep it light, keep it fresh. And I might have some cake later. We have Charlie made an Oreo cake. Absolute flames. But yeah, a little vegan quesadilla, refried beans, a little bit of vegan cheese. And then, what is this? Some green verde salsa. And then I'm finishing my coffee from earlier. And I'll probably make another cup. Probably make some funked coffee. Let me show you the funked coffee that I have. So these are our friends from the UK who just sent me some coffee for free because they like the channel. They're hobby joggers. My guy Miller, he got a pair of 860 V14s from my recommendation. And this is the second bag. I have not opened it yet. Peach juice. It was literally fermented with peach juice. It's going to be insane. Should be pretty good. So this is what I'm going to make for my afternoon cup today. And then eat these quesadillas.
All right, run number 2. We're going to do a nice 8-piece. So 1 hour, just cruising. Goal here is accumulate some more mileage, get all those aerobic benefits. Also build strength. And the reason why we're able to go 16 miles at a 5:57 pace earlier today is from all the mileage we've done throughout the year adding up. So these types of runs, even though it's not a speed workout, it is a workout in a different way. A 24-mile day is a workout in a different way. It builds strength, it builds injury resistance, it strengthens our muscles and tendons, it develops the aerobic system, it gets some more of those good blood cells, helps us become stronger runners. And doing these slower paced, longer runs, it does help extend the speed at faster paces. So 8 miles, we're going to get out here. I was going to say rip. We're not going to get out here and rip. We're going to get out here and cruise.
All right. Another 8 miles. 7:04 pace. A little bit faster than I've been going on these afternoon runs. 58 minutes and 4 seconds. Whew. We are feeling good. That's what it means to train by feel. to feel good.
Vibe check. Medium to good, it seems. That's a good sign. I think that's a good sign. You guys know what Dwayne Carter said? He said a lot of things, but the one I was thinking about was, "We are not the same. I am a Martian." Dwayne Carter. So we got 24 miles on the day. Another great day of Chicago Marathon preparation. And this was my one word for the training block and the energy that I wanted to bring into this build. Preparation. Now, that's not a mind-blowing word. We think about it all the time. People say marathon prep all the time. But for me, I knew that preparation was the one thing that was a huge weakness for me. It's not execution. It's not running hard workouts. It's not fueling right. It's not staying healthy. It's preparation. Thinking ahead. And speaking of preparation, I haven't even booked my flights for Chicago yet. This is exactly what I'm saying. So stay tuned. Everybody's been asking me about a meetup. I'm trying to plan something. So stay tuned on that. I haven't even booked my tickets yet. So once that is done, we can start thinking about some sort of a meetup. But we got 24 miles on the day. Where was I going with this whole preparation thing? Running the right workouts at the right intensities to get a desired result. Now, when we think about training for a marathon, that's the whole goal. We want to periodize our training or stack different blocks on top of each other so we can get to that end goal. Now, I did not come into this block with a time goal. I did know that I was thoroughly unsatisfied with my 2:49 from earlier this year because I didn't feel that it quite matched up to the number of miles I was running. But the fact of the matter is, you gotta run miles close to the race pace that you wanna hit. And so that's what I've been laser focused on this build, and that's why I added in this 16-mile tempo at a marathon effort today. And I will be blown away if my marathon pace is below a 6-minute per mile pace. I do not think that's gonna be the case, but marathon effort, and I was pushing it a little bit, even maybe closer to half marathon effort at some miles, but regardless, that's why I wanted to add in this faster, longer tempo, and that's what I've been laser focused on for this preparation, grinding out a ton of miles close to marathon effort, because last block, and I was following the Daniel system then as well, all my marathon pace miles were between 6:20 and 6:40, and guess what? My marathon time of 2:49, that was a 6:20, was it 6:26? It was in the 6:20s. So the workouts indicate the race day performance. Now, something can go wrong. Something usually doesn't go drastically right, where you can run 10 to 20 minutes faster than the workouts would predict. It's usually pretty spot on. But that is super annoying. I'm gonna turn this to see if maybe, I don't know if you can hear it that much, but I can hear it a lot. So if we point the shotgun mic in this direction, maybe that will just stop you guys from hearing the noise. That's the mayor's wife. I don't think she was looking at my dance. We are not the same, I am a Martian. That's the issue with a lot of you boys. Taking yourselves too seriously. And just come out here, pop the top off. grind out a nice long tempo at your goal race pace, eat some chocolate cake, bust down a little shimmy in the street, finish your workout early, have dinner with your family, watch some football. That's how you train by feel, baby. So that's what I wanted to say, man. Training by feel, it's not about waking up and running whatever we want to that day. You can and should follow a structured plan, some sort of structured plan, whether that's your personal non-negotiables. So that's what I did for a lot of this year. And if you guys have watched this channel for, close to a year now, a lot of you guys know last fall and winter, I talked a lot about the non-negotiables. And what are my non-negotiables personally? 100 miles per week if I'm not on a down week, a 20-mile long run, and one faster run per week. Those were my non-negotiables that got me the 2-hour and 49-minute marathon PR. That was not going to be enough this time. So I added in the structure of the Daniels plan, and I followed it pretty well. However, when I got sick a few weeks ago, I swerved off. This was the week when I did the Adios Pro 3 review and the Puma Fast-R Nitro 2 review and the Adidas Supernova Prima review where I did the 4-mile recovery run. I wasn't feeling that great, and I had to take a down week, and then I also adjusted the plan because I just wasn't feeling running some intervals. But now I've come back to it. I had 2 great workouts this week. I had a great long run last week, and it's all about listening to the body and dialing up the intensity appropriately. And today we added in another longer tempo because I wanted to challenge myself and push myself mentally. So that's the second piece of training by feel. You have your non-negotiables, and the second, for me, is all about the mental component. If we strictly follow the structure that somebody else laid out for us, it's not gonna push us as much as being intellectually curious about what are the adaptations, what are the changes that I could make to maybe get more out of myself. And everybody has 1 or 2 qualities that they index in higher than other people that are great about them. You might be a planner and a preparer. How can you lay out a better structure than a plan might indicate? For me, it's the recovery and it's the tolerance to the mileage. And that's why I've bumped my mileage up to a higher level. And that's why I've added in some of these longer grinder tempos. And the other mental benefit is the toughness. Just being able to come out and execute on a hard workout like this, a longer, harder workout on tired legs, that's gonna be huge. And no coach probably would have programmed this for me. We had to program it for ourselves, and sometimes pushing through when we're not feeling the best. And I had no idea how I was gonna do this morning. But pushing through when we're not feeling the best can build that mental toughness, can build that strength, but then of course translates into fitness. So that's the little piece I wanted to say on training by feel. The last thing, actually I was thinking about this out there, is, and this is something I've been thinking about a lot, striving for perfection. I do not strive for perfection in any facet of my life. I want to be great. I want to do things to a high level. I have standards. Like I said earlier, we should all maintain a standard of excellence for ourselves. But excellence, for me, does not mean perfection. And I think about some of the best leaders that I've ever worked with. They didn't do things perfectly. They weren't trying to have a perfectly formatted spreadsheet. They weren't trying to have every single last comma in the right place. They were frequently doing things on the fly, moving quickly, getting things done, getting things out the door. The ones who do things perfectly and whose standard is perfection, who want every single slide formatted in a certain way, are great middle managers, are great operational experts. So how does that translate to our running? If we are focused on optimizing everything to a standard of perfection, we're not going to be in tune with our bodies. We're going to be relying on the computers. And we're also, a lot of the times, going to be over-analyzing the data. And I fell into this trap after my horrible Chicago or Charlotte Marathon 2022 experience. I did go into the realm of heart rate training. I wore a strap for every single run. And it was actually great for a period of time because I learned what relaxed running felt like for me, and that's what I said in the initial video I did on Training by Feel. But the downside of it was looking at my watch every 2 minutes to make sure my heart rate was in the right place. Trying to run perfect splits. It doesn't translate into an enjoyable running experience. And then it also forces us to be so wrapped up on getting things right and doing things perfectly that we can't just flow. And if the standard for a good run, or the requirements for a good run, is everything around it being perfect, needing the right gels, needing the right shoes, it's going to be impossible to have a good run. And this is something I wanted to say, going back to the shoes. A lot of us are on this quest, and this is one of the toxic downsides of what I do on this channel. I think I'm a part of the problem, saying this shoe is a banger, this is a great shoe for marathon pace, this is a great shoe for relaxed miles. The first 700 miles of running I did as an adult were in one pair of shoes. I didn't know what a recovery run was. I didn't know what marathon pace was. I didn't even know how long a marathon was. Adidas Ultra Boost back in 2020. I just strapped on those lime green shoes and I ran. My standard for a good run was pushing myself, getting my heart rate up, getting some sort of mental rush, mental benefit so that I could go back down to my desk and focus. And now we have so many options and there are so many great shoes, but you do not need the perfect race day shoe. Any shoe out there, Adidas Supernova Prima, Nike Vomero 17, Saucony Hurricane. I could go pull any one of the 50 or 60 shoes that I have up there and use it for the rest of this training block and be completely fine. And so that's one of the dark sides of what I do on this channel, and I think it's created, and I'm not saying I've created this personally, but there is this culture of we want to find the exact right shoe. Man, if you're looking for the exact right shoe, get the 860 V14. That works for everybody. Just get that shoe, use it for all your training. But we don't need the perfect shoe. We don't need the perfect training system. There's no such thing as perfect. There is a such thing as great and excellent, and the way we get there is consistently executing and pushing ourselves. It's not about the gear, it's not about the tech. And I have this channel now and I highlight shoes and I review shoes, and there is a place in the market for what I'm doing, and there's a need because the standards for what constitutes a review are so low right now. I saw on Strava yesterday, let me throw this up. They did a paid partnership with Hoka and they're calling it a review. So that's why I'm gonna continue reviewing shoes, because we do need to have some standards about that's not a review, that's an advertisement. And it makes me sick to my stomach. So there's no such thing as perfect. And I don't strive for perfect. I strive for pushing myself. I strive to find my limit. And going back to what I said this morning, what would have been successful for that 16-mile tempo run? Anywhere from 5:55 to 6:20, and we nailed it at a 5:57, right on the faster end. And so that's what Training by Feel is. We set a range for ourselves. We have our non-negotiables. We get out. We consistently execute. We have some sort of a structure, but we can deviate from it when needed. We can push ourselves when we want to. We can dial it back when we're not feeling good, like I did when I was sick. And then when we are feeling good, we get after it. And we up our best. So the Saucony Endorphin Elite, how does this do versus Cloud Boom Strike and Alpha Fly? And the last shoe that I wanted to mention was the Puma DV8 Nitro Elite 3. I would put that in the contention. Those are probably my 4 top race shoes right now. This guy, it was not that fun. And surprisingly, at some points in that run, I felt like I was almost bottoming it out. Like I was running right on top of the plate. And it's weird because a lot of people think of this shoe as firm, and I do as well, but it didn't feel that cushioned compared to a lot of the other race shoes, especially compared to the Alpha Fly and the Cloud Boom Strike. Now the Alpha Fly does have that firm, crunchy, mechanical feeling, but you feel super high off the ground. because the Zoom X, the plate, and then the AirPods, there's no ground feel whatsoever. This felt more ground feel almost. It almost feels like a 5K, 10K racing shoe, and like it wanted me to really dig in. So it was fast, but it had a little bit of that ASICS shoe character, race shoe, where I say those shoes are, if you hate fun, you'll love the ASICS Metaspeed Sky pairs and Edge pairs. This had a little bit of it, and I was really landing up on the front of the platform. I almost feel like I'm transitioning to be a little bit more of a mid to forefoot striker at faster paces. I mean, you can see I burned through the back here, so I don't know how accurate that is. But regardless, when I was landing on the front and feeling the foam on the front, it just didn't feel like there was a whole lot between my foot in the ground, and it's fast, and I was getting a fast toe off, but not the most comfortable. So this is fast, not the most comfortable, not the most fun, not the most exciting, but I felt very efficient in this shoe. And I would put the maybe ASICS Metaspeed Edge Paris in the conversation with the fastest shoes as well, but that shoe is just absolutely no fun. So I'm not sure, and this is going back to the perfect thing I was just talking about. There's no perfect shoe I could race in any of these shoes I mentioned and be fine, but I would like to find the shoe that gives me the best shot of running a good time without thinking about what's on my foot. And that is something to this shoe's credit. I wasn't thinking a whole lot about the shoe. I was locked in, focused on my paces, and this shoe made it pretty easy. Not easy, but I was locked into 550s, and I wasn't thinking a lot about, am I on target, am I off target? So goal marathon pace will likely be between 6 and 6:15, or between 5:55 and 6:15, somewhere within that range. This shoe handles that really well. So I'm gonna have a decision to make. I want to take the Cloud Boom Strike out for another workout, maybe next week, and the Alpha Fly out for another workout. I think all 4 of these shoes, Endorphin Elite, Cloud Boom Strike, Alpha Fly, and the Puma, I'll take out for one more workout. Those are probably the top shoes I have right now for if you're going for that sub 3, sub 250, sub 245. Those are the top of the pile. Those are my favorite shoes for faster efforts. And then the other shoes I mentioned in the video last week, my favorite race shoes for long runs, Saucony Endorphin Pro 4, Cielo X1, Diodora Gara. There may have been one other shoe, but those are good if you want something a little bit less aggressive for maybe more time on feet. And then check out my favorite non-plated shoes for long runs. If you want some recommendations for 4-hour marathons and beyond, that would be Puma Mag Max, ASICS Nova Blast 4, Saucony Tempest. Those are all great shoes. So this is in the conversation for sure. Feels fast. I know it's battle tested. A lot of people have run sub 3s, sub 240 in this shoe. So that does make me feel good about picking it. And when we're thinking about our decision-making process and not stressing out about everything, that is something that can make me feel a little bit better. This and the Alpha Fly, those are more battle tested shoes. Whereas the Puma and the On, I just feel a little bit, I don't know, if I picked either of those shoes, they feel like more of wild cards. Now I know the On has actually, Helen Obiri is the On athlete who won Boston wearing the same shoe. I think it had maybe the light spray, but I guess that's battle tested as well. Not so much for hobby joggers, so I'd probably be one of the first hobby joggers to take that out for a sub 3 marathon attempt. So we got a decision to make. Lots of great shoes. I'm fortunate that I have all these shoes. I enjoy reviewing shoes, but I also enjoy talking about training, and that's the most important part of this. It's the training, and it's not even the fast times. And this is what I've been talking about a lot recently. It's not about the fast times for me. It's not about running a fast time at Chicago. It's about coming out here every day, every week, every month, getting better and pushing myself and looking at what I was doing in 2020, what I was doing in 2022, and where I am now. That's what I get excited about. And that's why I get excited about being able to run a half marathon PR, which we did today within that 16-mile tempo. It's not about a 5:57 or whatever numbers, because by tomorrow I will have forgotten about that and I want to get even faster. But it's about that constant progression. And that's why we're not stopping anytime soon. out here and run and enjoy the outdoors in whatever way feels good for us is a great day. So we're gonna get some recovery in, we're gonna get some refuel in, probably bang another 20-mile day tomorrow. We'll see. At least I gotta get 20 across tomorrow and Saturday, and then 20 on Sunday. We got 40 miles left this week. This is gonna be another grindy, disgusting week. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to getting peak week of mileage in. So 24-mile day of Chicago Marathon preparation in the books. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Let's go find out what we're having for dinner in about an hour or two, because I don't know.
All right, dinner, we have homemade fried rice. It is Charlie's punched up version. She uses the frozen fried rice from Trader Joe's, and then she grills up some tofu. She usually adds some other special vegetables in it, and she made a special sauce to go in it. So she refuses to do anything straight from the bag. She tries to make it as hard as possible on herself. But she loves her family, so she makes us awesome dinner. So this is the dinner. I'll probably have some other sort of second dinner after this to refuel and watch the football game and chill.
Yeah, Thursday night football. Bills, Dolphins. No, it's too late. It starts at 8. Yeah, Sunday you can watch. You can watch too on Sunday.